is momentous, and to have our opponent be UConn is even more special. And so I know we're going to have a lot of people in the building. I know our players are super excited for the opportunity to play on a special day against a great opponent, and see kind of where we are. I think for us it's a measuring stick game. We've won 7 in a row, but this will be the best opponent we've played since UCLA, and maybe even including UCLA. So, but I think we're excited, and the crowd will be great, and it's a great opportunity.
It just came to me as you said it. This is the 15th year they've done the pink out, in this arena. I know you've been around the game for a bit. Do you feel like this is one of college basketball's? I know it's newer, 15 years, but one of the neater traditions in the game because of just what that moment feels like when it's happening?
Yeah, I mean, none of these guys were old enough to remember Jim Valvano and kind of how, or Kay Yao, and how this all started. And, cancer and sports weren't necessarily mixed. I mean, unless you saw Brian's song, which I did in the 80s. But I just think that what sport has done to grab hold of the fight against cancer and make an impact is dramatic. And I think, whether you're older like me or younger like them, it ought to have an impact on all of us, and also get us to understand how lucky we are to get to do what we get to do, and so everybody's playing for something tomorrow that's even greater than what they normally play for.
To the task at hand. What's UConn look like on film the last 2 games that's maybe seemed to be at a different level than even where they were firing at before that?
Well, they've probably solidified their rotation more. So AZ Fudd's back. They've figured out what kind of their post rotation looks like, and this is the deepest team we've played in a few years. I mean, it's the most healthy team he's had. And I, just reading his quotes from earlier in the year about playing some of, his non-Paige Beckers players, and to get them in a position where they're a better team later in the year, I think he's probably pretty excited that they've stayed healthy and that their rotation looks better, deeper. And so what they can do is they can sustain intensity defensively, probably at a greater rate than they could early in the year, and even offensively. When you play UConn, it's not just they make you uncomfortable on defense. They play so fast offensively in terms of how hard they cut, how quickly you have to communicate, and so many things that they do off the ball on offense, that the pace of the game demands probably a depth that they haven't had the last couple of years. And so the last couple of years, you'd see that throughout the game, but not necessarily for the length of time that you see it this year, or at least
right now. What's tomorrow going to be like, just the chance to play in this setting, and also the opportunity for you guys as a team?
Yeah, it'll be super fun. Anytime you can get in front of a big crowd for women's basketball is awesome, especially in Omaha. We've never had this opportunity, and we're all really looking forward to it.
Why do you think you guys are?
I think just playing our game, sticking to what we do, trusting in each other, and just trying to build each and every day. I've mentioned before that we're usually just focused on one game at a time and how we can get better, and I think that mindset has carried us to where we are right now.
The next game, the one game at a time, is a pretty big one. How do you guys kind of approach your everything that's going in tomorrow? Pink out, UConn, this arena. What's that going to be like?
Yeah, we talk a lot about not letting the highs get too high and the lows get too low, and I think it applies to in-game situations, but also situations like this. We're obviously really excited, but we're all pretty focused on what's ahead, and we feel good. Like I said, we're excited, but not too consumed at the moment.